wohoma malaria enka won to them. Lufat, eye malaria drop compare.
And now you may kiss the bride.
Entrance Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And aye Lufat. Lufat, a two malaria sententem. FDA, I site the inkatoi ajatum se.
Welcome back. Hashtag GTV Breakfast. Hashtag Heritage Month on GTV. I wish you could see my promotions, but I'll show it to you later on. We've got sports at 7 o'clock and a lot more to come. But today we're going to settle everything once and for all. This Tigernut attachment business, is it an aphrodisiac or is just clever marketing? My guest here is Lady Thelma Boy, and she heads up the College of Culinary Arts and Hospitality Management. And every Thursday we do food here. And you're looking beautiful in blonde.
Yes, today.
Yeah, they say blondes have more fun, right?
Yes, that's what they say. So I'm going to have
lots of fun.
Yes,
lots of fun.
Yes.
So first of all, let's talk about the tiger nuts before we find out what you're cooking for us. So let's go straight to the point. Is it an aphrodisiac? I mean, you cook this stuff. You use this.
Well, I can attest to it. And the man has to. And what the men are saying is it is an aphrodisiac. And what happens is when you take it, what happens is it flows through, the blood flows through your heart, through your arteries, and then it goes into your manhood.
Yes.
And it's all about blood flow.
Okay.
So if the blood flows there, of course it's going to work.
Okay.
Yes, so,
all right.
yeah.
All right. Well, we
So
need to go and check the science on that.
That's what the science says.
You know, I've never had tiger for my whole life.
You never?
Never. So this is going to be like, I just never fancied it, but let's see what's happening.
Hey, it's very good.
So what makes it a superfood?
Because it has lots of nutrients and also the health benefit out of it. Like you get magnesium. Magnesium is wonderful. It does so many things to do. It protects the heart. It does what the blood pressure, regulates the blood pressure. Okay. Your brain is very good for it. It also helps you to relax the muscles. It has iron in it. We all need. As a woman, we need iron. It has vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin B, which is good for your skin, nails, and hair. So it's just chock full of that. It's good for regulating your diabetes. Really? It has a lot of fiber in it. So, usually fiber goes through your system. It doesn't break down.
It's like oats, right?
Yes, like oats. Yes. So it is very, 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 very nutritious.
Wonderful. I mean, hey.
Superfood. It's that little thing does so much for the body.
Listen, it's a superfood. And Lady Thelma, take it from her. She knows what she's talking about. It's a superfood. And today, tell us about our recipe.
Today, we're going to have Tigernut pudding. So it's just Tigernut in it. I blended with rice. So you have to soak it. Once you buy it, wash it.
So talk us through the recipe.
So right now what it is I've blended it. I add a pinch of salt, then sugar to it. So I'm going to put it on fire to thicken it up. Because the rice acts as a natural thickener to it. So we're going to put it back. It's on fire right now. You just stir it. Keep stirring back and forth, back and forth. Don't just stir in the middle. Because when you stir in the middle, the side will start bubbling and it would, what do you call it, curdle. So just go around it till it thickens.
And this mix again is just what?
Tigernut and sugar and a pinch of salt, and maybe have a teaspoon of salt.
With some water, of course.
With water. You don't want to put too much water in it because it will dilute it.
All right. Now what's happening here?
No, this is the first one. So it should have been this that I'm going to blend. Then you strain it.
So we're going back in time.
Yeah, we're going back in time.
So this is what you blended.
This is what I blend. I soaked it for a day, 24 hours. With the rice, and I add a little water to it. Then put it in the blender and blend it. Then I will strain it.
Why did you soak it for 24 hours?
Because it's soft in it. It's very hydrated. So when you add the water to it, it dehydrates it. Because we want to extract the juice out of it. So that's what we do. So and also it softens the rice too. So when you blend in it, you'll get a little grains in it. Now
what's happening here?
I'm going to strain it. After straining the first time, you put a cheesecloth. Or a clean napkin. Some even use stockings, clean stockings.
All right.
Just because I don't want, because it has a lot of chaff in it. I want to get it out. I want it as smooth as possible.
Could I have used a regular sieve?
If you use a regular sieve, you'll still get some of it in there. So by putting the cheesecloth or table napkin or stockings, it will take all the little that the sieve cannot collect. So that's what we're doing.
So you're doing this?
So yes. Then you put it on fire. Then you stir it till
okay.
it thickens. So whilst it's doing, we could talk about it. The toppings I'm going to use for it.
Okay.
Yeah, because this one is just making sure I get all the juice out of it.
Okay, so
now we went to this.
This was the rice, right?
This is the sugar.
The sugar.
Yeah.
Okay.
The sugar.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you stir it continuously.
Yes.
Okay. What kind of heat? Are you talking of low heat?
Medium, moderate heat. You don't want it too high too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
In the middle.
Okay. So while it's cooking, tell us about what's happening here.
Yes. So whilst it's cooking, this is the pudding that I've made.
Okay.
I added gelatin.
Okay.
Gelatin just helps it to solidify it.
Makes it thicker?
Make it thicker.
Okay.
Yeah. Not necessarily thick. It could be thick.
Okay.
But then usually what happens is when they do the Tigernut and you leave it, you see because of the sugar and the rice or the thing, it separates.
Oh, you want it to just bond together?
It bonds together.
Okay. Is gelatin easily available
Yeah,
in the supermarkets?
It is. Like you see, I have a clip on the clip. A little sachet is about 2 cedis.
Okay.
Yeah, you just add it to it,
Okay.
just to solidify and just help it to stick.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and you add like the sugar. Yeah, I didn't add any extra flavor or anything. So I just wanted to actually taste the Tigernut in it.
So that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
But then I was thinking, God, Africa, Heritage Week, why not? So I had dakwa. As the Hausa calls it.
Yes.
Or
Zoe.
Zoe.
Yes, Zoe.
Yeah.
This used to be food that warriors used to eat.
Yes, I read of
Because you eat a little bit, you drink water, and you can fight for hours.
Yes, because it has peanut paste in it, peanut butter paste in it. It has the maize that has been roasted. It has sugar. It has pepper, cayenne pepper, and it has some cloves.
Okay.
Right. So they mix it all together and make it into a ball. So yeah.
Zoe?
Zoe.
Yes.
So you usually make crumble, and crumble is usually made from flour, butter, and sugar, and a bit of cinnamon.
Okay.
So I decided, why don't I just incorporate
Zoe
into it?
Okay.
And I baked it, and you're going to sprinkle it on it.
So this is a Zoe crumble?
Yes, Zoe crumble.
Thelma's specialty. Nice.
Yes, so Zoe crumble.
I wish we could taste that before you
yes, please do taste it.
Taste some of the crumble, man.
Do taste it, and let me know what you think. Silence. And right it is.
If I were like a dance hall guy, I say, boom, 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 boom,
Gunshots.
Yeah, this is powerful. I love it.
Yes, so, yes, like I said, cooking is all about thinking outside the box.
Okay.
Like, you told me about your son.
Yes.
I want to meet. I am so impressed with what I've seen.
Cooks,
Yes, just create your own recipes, add your own touch to it. And, so that's what I came up with.
So what's the Zoe going to do? Sprinkling on it?
Yes, I'm going to sprinkle. And amazingly, it complements the Tigernut so well.
Okay.
You get to taste the Tigernut, you take the pepper in it. It's just the marriage of different flavors in your mouth is just wonderful. Yes, and in cooking, you just want to get flavors that complement each other. Sometimes they don't sound like they would, but once you try it, you're like, okay, it works, or it doesn't work, then you try something else.
Okay,
And but normally when they make it, the one that they sell outside, the difference in this one, they use caramelized sugar. Caramelized sugar is simply sugar that has been, when you cook sugar, it caramelizes.
Okay.
When you keep water, it boils.
Okay.
When you have eggs, it coagulates.
Okay.
When you have starch, it's gelatinization. Yeah, so there's a cooking process of it. So when you cook sugar, you're caramelized. So you put sugar on it, you allow it to cook, and you caramelize it until it get brown.
Okay.
Yes, you don't want to burn it. You want to caramelize it.
Okay.
Then they will add it. So instead of they want to add the sugar to it, you cook it, then add the sugar, the caramelized sugar. That's how you get the nice brown color. That's the difference between what they sell there and what. And also I added a gelatin to it. So
Awesome.
it's another taste element.
Are we ready to eat?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So in case you just joined us, this is what we do on Thursdays as part of our health check. We have a cooking session, and Lady Boyd is here. She is the CEO of College of Culinary Arts and Hospitality Management.
Yeah. I've told you to say that 10 times. And
yes,
you still have
Tigernut Pudding. That's what it is. Atadri pudding.
Yes,
right?
atadri.
Yes.
It's a spoon, so.
Yeah. If you know the ever word for atadri, please let me know.
Yes, we want to know.
Yeah, we want to know.
Where's your foodie today? She's not here today.
Oh, Thelma, she's going to come in soon. She's watching this on the makeup room, so as soon as she sees this, you know. Okay.
You're getting paid. Oh, coffee.
I beg you. For what you're about to receive, we thank you, Lord.
Amen. Hey, come on.
Okay, so my first experience with Tigernut.
Tigernut.
Shall I be correct? Very nice. We're here to work, so we are working. Please take us through the recipe again while I'm dealing with this.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
Okay, so we have our Tigernut, then our rice that we soak it for 24 hours. Yes, then we blend it to get the milk out of it, the Tigernut milk. Then we add sugar and a little bit of salt, put it on fire to thicken it. Then we'll add the gelatin to it. Then that's it.
Yep.
Put it in there. Then you freeze it.
And then you are kind of just
you have
around.
you have to pass it through just a normal sieve. Then the second one you have to do it twice. The second one you do it through a cheesecloth, a napkin,
So this is
anything.
the second process.
This is the second process to get all the little chaff that the sieve wasn't able to capture. So that's what it is.
And then you put it on fire.
Then you put it on fire.
Medium heat.
Medium heat. Don't do it too high. You don't want to curdle it. You just want to nicely. It's Tigernut. You just want to romance it on the fire. Like that. Keep stirring.
I wonder why they call it tiger though.
The stripes of a tiger. That's where it gets its
I
name.
thought it made men raw.
Well, you know, yes, I'm sure the man rolling or the woman rolling, somebody's rolling. There's a rolling somewhere.
There must be a raw somewhere, you know. And so that's basically it. So you just cook it for how long? How long do you cook the stuff on the fire?
For about 20 minutes. Just keep stirring it. Just you want to take your time to cook the starch out of the rice, and also help it to thicken.
And then when it becomes like, then you go and cool it or something because this is cold.
Yes. Well, then when I add the gelatin, whilst it's hot, then I put it in the Sunday glasses.
Okay.
Then I put it in the refrigerator.
What's this glass called?
Sunday.
Sunday glasses.
Yeah.
S-U-N-D-A-E. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sunday glasses.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sunday
Good.
glasses. So you put in the Sunday glasses. Then you put in the fridge. I use a cling film because contamination or that,
Yes.
and it has to go in the top shelf.
Okay.
You don't let it bring on the second shelf because maybe you don't want everything to contaminate it.
Okay, so top shelf.
Top shelf.
Top shelf in the fridge.
In fridge, and everything else go at the bottom.
So even how you arrange your food in the fridge is important, right?
We're gonna do that.
We'll do that. That should be another show.
Yes, we are doing
What goes on top of those?
Yes.
Nice. And then the crumble, the Zoe crumble.
Yes.
Just tell us what's inside. How you did it.
So it is flour, sugar, cinnamon, and Zoe. Yeah, or Zoe. I shouldn't say Zoe. Yeah.
It's right there.
Yes.
If they lose the tag, we'll see. So that's Zoe. And then you just grind the Zoe.
You just grind it. And the chaff that you get out of it, you could dry it in the oven and you can make granola out of it. Yes.
You can have it with yogurt or milk.
Yogurt, and it's because of the chock full of fiber, it is so good.
Please sprinkle some of this thing on for me. Thelma is not coming. I'm going to read the messages. She coming, say, I'm there already. I'm going to read the messages.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So, 1 second.
No worry, I'm here.
So
You
this
have
is...
me for about 10 more minutes, then I'm gone.
So more messages here on 055 556 1034. Mommy's watching me for wherever it says, I told you not to eat and talk. But I beg, I'm working. All right, good morning, breakfast team. Hey, okay, I'm gone. Take over.
You're eating Tigernut pudding. Tomorrow we have to get some messages.
Read the messages. I'm going back.
I'm going to try to be on my best behavior right now. So messages coming in on our WhatsApp number. This one says, please bring more teaching to the public. You are enjoying. So it's CAF who is enjoying. You see, disclaimer, it's CAF. It's only CAF. Me, I don't have anything to do with this. Blend Tigernut with dates. So this thing, is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Lady Thelma.
And coconut. Yeah. And
dates,
really,
coconut.
And men will be, we can attest to, the men has to be the one to tell us. So
we don't know.
Reading about it, but we can attest
we
to
don't
it.
know about any of this. Tigernut benefits. Mina Hunter Franco, of course, he will jump on this bandwagon. Good morning, Yana Kaf and Dr. Boy. Tigernut, also known as Shufa or Atadri, is a glorious nut. Yeah. It's a colon evacuator and helps clear the bowels to prevent constipation. Hence, I've ever used it to naturally solve my diabetic issue. I chewed it thoroughly with the chaff swallowed and it worked. Mina Hunter Franco, Babi, you're now a doctor. This is self-medication via Atadri. So let's see what Nane Kuya also says. She says, good morning, Kafi. Please kindly send me some Atadri you, okay? We'll just send it electronically.
Pay tax for that one.
We won't send you a recipe. we will send you a recipe. Caleb is asking for a recipe. We'll send you one, and we'll also post the recipe on our social media handles. So be sure to follow GBC social media handles. Someone is giving us ever names. So an experience first, and then we continue. Good morning, BFS. Following from Spintex, it's a powerful nut that can charge you when taking. Another thing I noticed, it will make you poo free. Very good for constipation. Personal experience. I don't know why my grandfather loves it so much. It's called Fio.
You probably should ask your grandmother. You should ask your grandmother. At this point, I'm here to make a presentation.
Okay.
Gentlemen, I hereby present to you.
And that's where I lose my point.
No, wait. Let me make the statement first. Yes, a Sunday filled with Lady Thelma Boy's special
But today's Thursday.
flavor with Zoe crumble,
give me the food.
which is ready for your digesting pleasure.
Hey.
Please say a prayer in Ga before I give it to you. Take your thing and go.
You know I'm in a hurry when food
I want the Ga name. I want the Dagbani name.
Atangme.
Atangme.
Ghana call it Atangme.
Yes. Where's Titi? Tell us what the Dagbani name is. Otherwise,
She's consulting her Dagbani dictionary.
We'll buy you from going back to Tamale. Make a call right now, Matiti.
And tell us.
One message is, good morning, GTV Breakfast Show. Cap, I can see you still haven't started your Lent. I think there is more to this. I'll be glad to know that this
First time having it though.
First time.
He obviously has.
Listen, I was a Tigernut virgin before today.
Oh, he's been virgin.
He went there
in a big way.
Tigernut virgin.
With the lady with the blonde
With
hair.
the blonde hair introduced me to the delights, the culinary delights of a Tadri.
I can't even deal with you. Sir Miles, we've talked about health benefits. Some say helps with constipation, helps them bring their sugar levels down. There's a lot of fiber in there. So if you want to have more fiber in your diet, then you know that you can hook that up. Someone is talking about sports. Yes, yesterday, Real Madrid and PSG, lots of action there. We'll talk about it when Multi takes over the sports news. At 7, for now, let's focus on the Atadri goodness. And someone is, in fact, I love this show. They are just concluded. In fact, I love this show. That's a firm, resolute statement, and we are all here for it. Try Atadri and then tell us what you think. I think Lady Boy's mixture is just.
No, but this is great. It tastes like some kind of very smooth, luxurious ice cream.
Yes.
You know, really, really nice. And the crumble on top is heavenly. Listen, I'm in heaven now. All right, courtesy of Tigernut Pudding.
And remember who took you to heaven?
Into Dalma.
Thank you.
She gave me admittance. First time I'm taking Atadri. I love it. I like it.
I wonder how you got it to look so white, because we see some being sold in town and they look so brown.
I told them that you add caramelized sugar. Like they cook the sugar, then it turns brown and they add it. So instead of me adding just the natural sugar to it, the normal sugar, they add caramelized sugar to it. Yeah.
055-556-1034. So while the Thelma is enjoying her pudding, just list the ingredients again for us.
Okay, so we have Tigernut, we have rice, we have sugar, and a pinch of salt. Yeah, and the gelatin. Yeah, so that's what we have here. Then we come to the crumble.
Yes.
Then we have the flour, soft flour. It's a soft flour and a hard flour.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a difference. Okay. Then we add sugar to it. Then we add the Zoe to it, a little bit of butter, cinnamon. Then we crumble it, like, rub it in our hands just to crumble, and then put it in the oven for about 20 minutes.
Now we have a whole family of people who are visually who are not sighted, so they listen to what we say.
Okay.
So walk us through the process of doing what you do.
Okay.
Yes.
What I did again.
No, I mean yes, for those who can't see but who we hear.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you.
Yes.
You have Tigernut and rice. You soak it for 24 hours. Then you blend it to extract the milk out of it. And you pass it through a cheesecloth, the final stage. You don't want any of the chaff in there. That's why it's so smooth in your mouth. Yeah. Then we put it on fire to cook it out. It will thicken. Then we add, I like to add gelatin to it. That helps it to set. Okay. Then you could put it in a bowl and put it in the refrigerator. And that's what we have here.
Okay. Yes. And you cook for how long?
When
you're cooking it?
Oh, it's about 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yes,
in the fridge?
Not over, but moderate heat.
Okay.
Moderate heat.
Okay.
Don't get too high, otherwise it'll cook too fast.
Okay.
And you burn it.
Then you organize the crumble?
Yes, with the Zoe crumble or Dawe crumble. Dakwa crumble.
Dakwa crumble.
Yeah, crumble.
And then you sprinkle and you're good to go.
Yes, and you're good to go.
All right.
Yes.
So Caleb, who wanted the recipe, is now an expert on Tigernut and says it helps with sexual health.
Are you?
I wouldn't know. They are saying so. Comments made by persons from this platform represents their own, not those.
Two more before we run away.
Or its affiliate. Nanama says, can you use Tigernut powder for this?
Tigernut powder.
Yes, I've never seen Tigernut powder. Oh, they crush it.
Yeah, they crush it, but you want the juice out. You can if you want the roughage and everything. Yeah, you want the juice.
Okay, so you could try. Like Lady Thelma always says, always try new things. If it doesn't work, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Ditch it and try another batch. So try it and see how it goes. Kafi, please come down to earth. Where is Thelma? I'm right here. I'm right here. You guys are really looking
Who went
good.
to heaven and came back?
You guys are really portraying our rich Ghanaian heritage. They should continue after Heritage Month. You obviously haven't been to the studio. It's cold.
Yes.
And these shoulders are cold. But thank you for acknowledging us. Rate Cultural made our looks possible. Follow them on all their social media handles. Rate Cultural, R-I-T, then Cultural, R-I-T, then Cultural 2 on other handles. Find them on social media.
Two before we
but
run
you
out.
have to come down to heaven.
I'm on earth.
This heaven that you don't have wings.
It's heaven on earth.
Nana Kwesi says, good morning team. Look, homemade Tigernut pudding is best for men to fill their testicles for good workout in the bedroom. If you don't get it, forget it. Nana Kwesi from Nasma, I don't get it. So let me just forget it. Emma Gold is joining. Good morning, honorables. This Tigernut table king calf is shaking this early morning, dear. For me, it cures my heartburn, so I love it. Okay. Thank you, FY. You see, the women, we are just sitting this one out nicely. Where's Valerie? Valerie is going to be back really, really soon. She misses all of you as well. I'm loving the show, says Omega 44. I won't even say 44. Omega 44. Thank you for loving it. FY says, the men know exactly what they get from it. And on that note, I'll hand it to the man who hopefully may tell us a story about what he got from it.
I got good taste.
Yes,
I got good taste.
Did.
Listen, Thelma, thank you so much. But happy birthday for somebody special. Happy birthday to you.
My daughter is 5 years old today.
Oh, bless her.
Ade Tolagoka. Mommy loves you. Yeah, 5.
We all love you.
We all love you from the breakfast show. Thank you.
Happy birthday
to you.
Let's feed Adesola some
Tigernut. On the 26th.
26th
of March.
It's the anniversary of the culinary arts.
50 years.
Yep, 50 years. Wow. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, that's our conversation here. We've enjoyed the recipe so much. Lady Thelma Boys, very special Tigernut pudding. How can we find you on Instagram or Facebook? What do we look for?
Lady Thelma Boy.
Lady Thelma Boy on IG.
Yeah.
Okay.
And on Facebook, Thelma Boy.
Thelma Boy as well. T-E-L-M-A, just like Thelma's name. And we're good to go. Boy, it was really good fun. Thank you. I love the blood. It matches with the jewelry. Yes, indeed. Looking great. And that's our health check for this morning. Still to come, we've got headlines with Sheikh Anamiya Shaibu and Dr. Lawrence Tete. We've got Wiyala, the lioness, rolling into the studio without any attachment, but with a lot of music and vibe and energy. We've got your messages on 0555561034, hashtag GTV Breakfast. And we've got the sports news coming up. Oh, Basa. You sent a guy to PSG and he wasn't the savior after all. With all their galaxy of stars, they came crashing down to the earth. And Maltiti has all that news in the palm of her hand. She is our certified Dagbon princess. And she's got the news for the sports. You stay. Don't go anywhere. 10th of March, 2022. This is GTV. Mwah. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us on GTV Breakfast Sports at 7 a.m. I am Maltiti Saida Sadiq and Tigernut in Dabali is Nansa. Caffrey was asking earlier on. Sir, we'll be looking at the squad that will be named by Black Stars coach Otto Addo. We'll also be looking at the EPL and the UCL. Let's start off from the Black Stars. And the Black Stars coach Otto Addo has submitted a squad list to the management committee to be approved for announcement. Reports say the GFA Executive Council are scheduled to meet today to finalize on the list ahead of preparations for the Nigeria game. Otto Addo is expected to announce his squad by close of the day today. Still on the Black Stars game with the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Moroccan referee Redouane Djied has been appointed to handle the FIFA World Cup playoff between Ghana and Nigeria at the Cape Coast Stadium. The 42-year-old officiated in the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations, handling 3 games, including the third-place match between Burkina Faso and Cameroon. Ghana will host Nigeria on March 25 and travel for the reverse fixture at the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja 4 days later.
Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show.
And they call me UJ.
The NSA tweeted that work has begun in earnest to restore the Cape Coast Stadium ahead of the World Cup playoff. And to the Ghana Premier League, former Ghana international Sule Muntari has scored his first goal for Hearts of Oak, the Phobians, in their 2-1 win against Wafa in the Ghana Premier League. Now, Muntari scored a penalty in the second half to give the Phobians the lead again in the Week 19 outstanding GPL fixture. The former AC Milan and Interstar stepped up.
Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show.
Well, the
pass from Salim Adam to locate a free banner with that.
first pass by Salim. It's a threatening one. The free sets up the pass through the middle. Akwa Hartlock still battling with it, and eventually it's Kwadwo Obeng Jr. who probably has set the tone for sweet victory.
Held on to the ball very well and delivered a powerful shot to beat a circle pass from Salim Adam to locate a free banner, and his composure here. Very
lovely, classic, out of nothing, a classic goal out of nothing.
Look at that goal, absolutely magnificent.
Game continues in earnest. Yes, Mo Alassan's pass. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, and a complete miscue by Patrick Razak. But he's still challenging. He brings Patrick Razak down. It's Sule for Hearts of Oak. In he comes. 1, 2, 3. Oh! He didn't try to go for placing. Just went straight. Goalkeeper nearly caught that.
He didn't need to do a lot, but
well, still on the GPL, Bechem United defender Samuel Sekufo has been charged by the Disciplinary Committee of Ghana Football Association for his unfortunate tackle on Asante Kotoko striker Frank Mbele Etuga. The defender was seen in a viral video stamping Etuga after clearing a ball in a bid to stop him from scoring. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola says he has learned to enjoy the moment after his side cruised into the quarterfinals of the Champions League despite being held at home by Sporting.
me UJ. When you need a shoulder to cry, run on my pumpy, so we try our suicide. Yeah, let bygone be bygone. I didn't see what the bottom gonna do, we go straight to start. And I'll take you to next level. Oh, baby, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The energy next level. Back, baby, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll take you to next level. Oh, baby, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't go next level.
Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Oh, today he has been extra sweet, and the way he looks at me.
I have done everything by the book. It's on. Hey, but I have to get some condoms, Charlie.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner from HIV, STIs, and unplanned pregnancy. Condoms are an effective way for protection against HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana Health Service.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria? Lufat.
Indeed, woman malaria and kawan to them. Lufat, a malaria drop a cope.
And now you may kiss the bride.
Entrance Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And I Lufat. Lufat, a two malaria sententem. FDA, Ashasa, a dead in Kratoi Ajatum.
From 1921 to 2021, the journey to our centenary has been amazingly worthy. Azar Group is 100 years and continues to achieve greatness.
Main brands which were in the company are Azar Tex, which is an emulsion paint, texture paints, which we were the first people to produce it in Ghana, and Azar Gloss, which is oil paint. We were the first people to produce the carpenter's glue. Now we have new products like silicone paint.
Join Azar Group celebrate 100 years and to create another brilliant 100 years together.
Hey, tell me more. Tell me more. Hey, tell me more. Tell me beer.
They ma worry me. Watch me young for 1 week, Mr. WBT. Oh, now
yes. Buga, nade. Senior, name me and ma cut down my business is a collapse. My house are bam.
So we take quick credit in Ghana.
Quick credit?
Yes, quick credit. Who pesika? We are government and our private worker. Who pesika they are till hot so. We are busumi ejuma. Who is sikadi bibin tempai so. Quick credit be ma loan. And what you are kakra. Na enije sem kese ne say. A collateral free loaner, susu, savings, account opening, and a deposit as MBL. The here say, Ghana card. 2022 year, 1 year Juma, now one hour young. Who need excuse here? Quick credit to 03022 00390 and 05969 20833. But see, quick credit.
Coming live from the capital. This is the Breakfast Show.
And they call me Eugene. When you need a shoulder to cry, run on my pamper, so we try was suicide. Yeah, let bygone be bygone. I didn't see what the body gonna do. We go straight to start. I'm gonna take you to next level. Oh, baby, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Energy next level. Back, baby, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Take you to next level. Baby, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't quote next level. Excess bidding can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Oh, today has been extra sweet, and the way he looks at me.
I have done everything by the book. It's on. Hey, but I have to get some condoms, Charlie.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner from HIV, STIs, and unplanned pregnancy. Condoms are an effective way for protection against HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana Health Service.
Tabia takum, wedi a memma yedro no, a me nya hoɔden, ane hoɔden yie, aye memma dro, anu nti na ban me bia hia bi no, aye memma dro ma ban me bia wedi mfie di wɔhwe kɔ. Bi opedi du etu aton bia, enko chemical shops, pharmaceuticals, ane herbal shops bia. Ewo Ghana hanum be bia. Anase frɛn, ewo 0243 686861, ana 0245 749206.
FDA ajisa echodi nkacho ya tu.
Kase tabia takum ye, bema bia ye takum.
This is the Breakfast Show.
Yeah. Wo be very sim. Once a rim pona wananto. Then sana ni go for. Otiko di beya. Onupo oda ni nyame so. Wachaza manisaka wenye. Awe wonsa ewonani. Geometry gadi on fiber today. Aye ben out the moon mio Tony Pada Seni. Awe wonsa ewonani geometry gadi on fiber today. Aye ben out the moon mio Pada Seni. Wow, be very handsome more than the sun and way. The sun and the day, for Saran and Tumpo. Then you know the Minas. Wow, be very handsome more than the sun and way. The sun and the day, for Saran and Tumpo. Then you know the Minas. Ubakua Fanosa, Ubino Fanosa, Waubiso Fanosa. Musio papa. I get that. And give me that. Sanetewa bravo. Obaku afanosai, Umino afanosai, Waubi so afanosai, Minyawaye, Musio papa. Chaka wa fanosa, Oyanto wa fanosa, Ene Jesu tu wa fanosa, Chin son, Dio mukama.
Dio mukama. Kama.
Chaka wa fanosa, Oyanto wa fanosa, Ene Jesu tu wa fanosa. Chin son, Dio mukama. Wow, be very handsome more than the sun and way. The sun and the Nina, who was around and Tumpo. Then you know the wow, be very handsome more than the sun and way. The sun and the Nina, who was around and Tumpo. Then you know that I so dear. Then you know that I don't know the boy. Then you know that I so dear. Then you know that I don't know the boy. Then you know that I so dear. Then you know that
GTV breakfast still to come. Conversations with Mr. Justice Abdullahi, who took this case to the Supreme Court, and matters arising. Well, the upshot of it is that deputy speakers can also vote in those proceedings. He will be giving us the whole lowdown on his justifications for why he took the case to court and what it means for our parliamentary systems. That's a conversation you do not want to miss. The man at the heart of that particular ruling from the Supreme Court, the 7-0 ruling, will be in the studio here with us, God willing, to have that conversation. And then Yala, the lioness, will be roaring in the last hour of today's show. Our WhatsApp number is 055-556-1034. And just before I jump into our headlines conversation, you know, there was this whole thing about this Tigernut improved male performance. And there's actually been some research done on it. So I didn't know that Tigernut was called Cyperus esculentus tubus. Cyperus esculentus tubus, Tigernut. And they did a study on copulatory behavior in rats, in male rats. And it's quite an interesting thing, but the conclusion is that Tigernut has positive effects on the copulatory behavior of adult male rats. Why do scientists talk like this? It just means that Tigernut makes male rats have, I think, more sex. But please, don't get too excited. You're not a rat, okay? You're a human being made in the image of God. Let the rats do their own thing, and we also do our own thing, all right? So that is the information that you can go and find out on the internet. We love the internet. How were people broadcasting without the internet those days? You know, so that's it, right? The influence of Cyperus esculentus tubus, Tigernut, on male rat copulatory behavior. It's a serious study. BMC, complementary medicine and therapies. It's not even funny. full paper there, so you check it out, and we can talk about that at another time. My headlines today are from the Daily Graphic, the Ghanaian Times, and the Finder. The Daily Graphic leads with Deputy Speaker can vote, Supreme Court rules. Ruling is travesty, says the minority. Ghanaian medical students in Ukraine transferred to Grenada, and court declares UTAC strike illegal. Those are your headlines in today's Daily Graphic. The Ghanaian Times, UTAC suspends strike indefinitely, bullion van robberies. 2 cops killed in gun battle at Borteman, 4 others civilian grabbed. And then there's a national policy on blood collection testing launched, page 10. The Finder, Freedom Coin not licensed to operate in Ghana, says the BOG. Bird flu, 20 million cedis for poultry farmers. 17 million cedis goes into compensation. My guests are the spokesperson for the National Chief Imam, Sheikh Arimiya Shaibu, and the founder and president of the Worldwide Miracle Outreach, Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete. Our WhatsApp number is 055-556-1034, and the hashtag is GTV Breakfast, hashtag Heritage Month on GTV. Gentlemen, salam alaikum, shalom to both of you.
Wa alaikum salam, shalom, peace.
Fantastic. You look resplendent in your agbada, your 3-piece agbada.
Yes, thank you. I came with a different texture that is very Ghanaian in terms of the purpose. I searched for my fugu.
Yes.
It appears to me there was a time I gave a lot of gifts. So I thought they were there when I searched.
The fugu had gone with those gifts. But this is great. This is like a Ghanaian material.
Yes.
Wow. Is it cotton?
Yes, cotton. I mean, pure cotton. The woven.
This is wonderful.
Yeah, the woven type.
So it's made here in Ghana?
Yeah. This one, more, the type you can get in Ghana here, but it's more Nigerian.
Okay, this is wonderful.
Yes.
It looks really great. Wallahi, you are. And Dr. Tete, what do you think?
And nothing will dilute the godly and message and the wisdom that he speaks to the people.
Exactly, just like Dr. Fremamu did years ago and was attacked for it, but in the end we realized that, hey, wearing your cloth does not make you less.
So I think it's just information. You know, last week I was on the local ship that was traveling from Tema to Takrade to Liberia and to Spain. I was on the ship with my cousin, of course, my younger brother, who is the king of Dodowa, the Najima, and the fifth. And he was in the cloth, and people were wondering what he was going to be talking about. And when he started preaching the gospel on the ship, they were shocked.
They were shocked.
The Nigerian was the toast of the day. So it's been very wonderful. And the entire team crew of about 600 people on the ship, the local ship, had to really attest to the fact that you can still be a king and a priest at the same time. Don't forget that David was everything.
Yes.
Was a king and a priest at the same time. And I believe that I've had privileges where I have to go in traditional attire to preach the gospel. So this week I'll try as much as possible to see which ones I have there that is still left. I've not given up yet. We don't have the opportunity to put it every night then, but we come from the right family, so I think it's nothing out of place at all.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for that intro remarks. Let me start with bullion van robberies, because it's a scary thing to think that people who are supposed to protect you, the police have become the thieves. And when that happens, when we were playing with children, we knew that we could divide ourselves. You are the police, you are the thieves, and then the police are supposed to catch the thieves. But when the police are now the thieves, it's confusion. And so there was a bullion van robbery, and it was established that police were part of the whole action. So today's Ghanaian Times, 2 policemen suspected to be involved in bullion van robberies have been gunned down during crossfire with the police at the Borteman. So the Constable of Chima Ansa and Lance Corporal Stephen Nyame pronounced dead on arrival. 4 others are leading investigations. What exactly is going on? Sheikh, thieves and robbers, no difference these days.
The society is progressively degenerating. I mean, the paradox. I mean, and we are losing it. But the good thing, which is happening, that we must give commendation to the police, is that for them to have succeeded in identifying that somebody from within is involved in such a crime, and for them to be able to bring it, and the courage to come out and indicate that somebody from within and we have been able to target. This is show that apart from the evil ones that are now getting, inside there are good ones. There are good ones also. And so I think that we need to give commendation to the police administration at this time, and then to encourage them to go ahead and fish out those bad elements that are, because you see, in almost every profession you have the good ones and the bad ones. In our justice system, in our educational system, even within the religious sector, I mean, we've heard a lot of things that are happening there, but it is to show the human element in us. But there still also the good ones are there. Let's encourage the good ones and commend them for the good work that they are doing. The police administration is now showing a new face, more courage. Leadership is, in my view, is now very inspiring, and the public acclamation for some of the good things that are happening is something. For instance, this one, for example, must be commended. For us to be able to say, look, the police itself can do its own inner cleaning and fish out those. And secondly, it appears also that probably the process of enlistment probably must come with some challenge. What are the qualifications? What are the processes we go through to be able to really get people within the police service? It remains a challenge for the police, and I'm sure that having come to this point, the police administration could do more to ensure that we get people of decent mind who are committed to fighting crime in our society, ensuring there's peace and security for our country, to be enlisted in such a very noble, I call it very noble profession and institution.
Thank you very much, Sheikh. Dr. Tete, so there's been a conversation beyond the bullion van robbery to talk about how people are being recruited into the police, and the other armed forces, the security services, immigration, customs, fire, prisons, armed forces, police. So I asked the question on Facebook, what is your experience with trying to enter the security services? So a lot of comments. So on Facebook, one person said, no-go zone. If you don't have money or know any big man, it seems almost every new recruit is linked to a politician or could pay huge bribes. And comment after comment just showed that there was money. I saw sums being mentioned of 15,000, or some politician giving you room to enter the services. And people are wondering, is this the fruit of this kind of behavior, where you bring in people who are not qualified, you don't screen people? I know one police officer who said he found on his patrol team one night that one of his colleagues was a criminal. The man kept, over 3 nights, he kept smiling at him, and on the 3rd night he said, now we're on the same team. And it chilled him to the bone, because you don't know who is behind you, who is the criminal, or who is a police officer. This protocol thing, what are your thoughts on it?
I think that, to begin with, Sheikh just pulled my mind. We have to also be very mindful not to just be pointing fingers. In all spheres of life in our society, there's a big mess. Sometimes the journalists seem to accuse everybody, but the question is that, do we have a good journalist? Do we have bad journalists? We have journalists who are creating a mess, yes or no? In the justice system, do we have them, yes or no? In Parliament, do we have them, yes or no? And certainly, like he rightly said, among the clergy, do we have it? Unfortunately for us as a people, the few who are the bad notes seem to undermine the entire credibility and the strength of the community. And that is why we have to also be careful not to throw the bad water and the baby away. I am rather concerned, and of course beyond the protocol thing, I'm concerned about the fact that the police arrested the culprits and they died in the midst of the fire. For me, that's my biggest concern. Where lies our evidence then? Who are we going to use to be able to testify as to what has happened? And that is my biggest challenge.
Dead men don't talk.
No, they don't. And so something is missing. If it's only one of the police who died, that should be okay with me. But if all the guys, all the 2 arrested police culprits died, How could we have made that mistake? And of course, we are not here to judge, but sometimes we have to probe our minds a little. Something doesn't sit well with me. I think that we have to be very mindful, and maybe if we are losing sight of certain approach to our security, we have to be very mindful. I think that we should have protected those guys enough who are ready to show us hideout. Could it not be that certain things that are supposed to have told us now, they died with us? And like you rightly said, dead don't speak. Then I come back to this protocol issue. I think that as a nation, we have to start coming back to ourselves again, that when we do that, we hurt ourselves. When we do that, we lack professionalism. When we do that, we don't give ourselves the chance to do the Ghanaian thing first. And it's happening in every area. You ask yourself that certain recruitment to certain places, some of these children we interview even on scholarship on boards, they give you the juicy places they go to. If you look at the number of people who are going to GNPC, they are going to foreign affairs, they are going to certain places, and they have the guts to say that I for me I'll get there. Now, if you look at them against certain qualified people,
you don't see it.
You don't see it. And I've sat on a lot of the interviewing thing, and you look at some of even the children with first class, and you wonder where they got the first class from. Because if a girl comes, she's so beautiful, she sit down and everything is open, right? They don't even care how they sit down, and they begin to speak, and you realize that the person with the first class certificate doesn't have what it takes to even get a third class.
You mean they try to show you things while they are the interview?
Oh, come on!
So you see things.
We say a lot of things. We say a lot of nonsense, and what they don't realize that kills them, because the moment you come and sit down, you are marked by the way you sit, the way you talk, the way everything. That alone, if I'm there, that is crossed out already. And so we need, as a nation, to really come together to hit this counter. Because what is happening is not just in the police. We have criminals. We have criminals who are immigration officers. We have criminals who are lawyers. We have criminals who are doctors. We have criminals who are cops. Unfortunately, we have criminals who are pastors. Trust me. There are a lot of pastors who have undermined the hard-won reputation of people who have gone. And today, people refer to pastors anyhow and talk to them anyhow. And it's very painful when some of us have sacrificed our education, our academics, our life, everything to preach the gospel. Few. And sometimes I say we have you guys, the press, to be blamed, because we seem to propagate everything, watch everything, but we should start watching it from our home too. We should prick our eyes before we prick other people's eyes.
There's this scenario. You see, when you create 4 lanes for vehicles to drive, and then the 4 lanes is reduced to a single lane up in front there, you create a jam. And when you create a jam over there, those who are smart and those who are strong, those who are better at moving, is what is going to happen. So the jam that has been created with respect to job opportunities in itself is one of the reasons why. So now, who is it that has somebody who can back him, so that he will be able to go through that small channel of opportunities? So probably one of the things that we should do, and I want to recommend to government to go ahead, open up job opportunities for the teen youth that we have, and let people seek jobs that matches their God-given talents, the choices that they have. Many are choosing professions just because they cannot. Look, I can tell you that I'm a teacher, and I ended up a teacher, and I'm proud, and there's no job that I will be proud of than the teaching profession. And yet I have been able to discover that many people are in the teaching profession not by their choice, but because there's no alternative. They have to be there. And so they are in the job, their hearts are not in the job, their spirit is not in the job. That's why you can go into, public schools where you can have teachers that have been trained. I have gone through training, so I know what goes into teacher training. And then you find that still we are not performing. And so on. And that has been an issue for a long time, and still we are seeking, and it also happens in some of the other professions. So we, broadly speaking, let's look at the job opportunity situation in the country and widen the scope. The private sector should be opened up, encouraged to be able to be more vibrant. So what government is unable to take, the private sector is taking, and equal opportunities are created so that we really get people who actually have the spirit to want to get into the security service. He sees them, he is so happy. He sees somebody like Dampari and some of his teams and other ordinary policemen for the nobility that is inherent in the fact that I am somebody who is in charge of the security of my community. That is noble. Somebody appointed that my job is that when people are sleeping, my job is to ensure that there's security. That is noble. But if you don't have the spirit to do this with honesty, you become the source of threat to society. That's the contradiction. So let's hope that we get an improved situation and get the right people to enter into our police and other security service.
Let's hope that we improve our security and get the right people to enter into our security services. I mean, that question that I put out there, I was just surprised. And when I finished, I just copied the right people, because all these people fall under, these services fall under Ministry of Interior. So I sent them a copied all the relevant people. There was one very long message, but it had lots of good points in it, and I just want to read it to you. So this is from Kweku Ashi on Facebook. So I asked him, what's your experience with trying to get into the security services? And he said, I have tried severally but no success. It saddens me how it's almost impossible to voluntarily serve your country. And I'm just picking up on what you said. Through the security service, the most painful thing is you'll be disqualified with no apparent reason given. A lot of us have the desire and passion to serve in these capacities. However, it's a matter of who knows you at the end of the day. Now, my question is, does the security service conduct any form of scrutiny for personnel after being recruited to know if they've not been compromised? I'm asking this because I'm certain not everyone in uniform has the mindset of protecting human lives and security as expected. Some are in there to serve someone's interest or theirs at the detriment of the nation and its supreme citizens. Going forward, a non-biased polygraph or truth test must be conducted on new recruits. I think Mr. Rawlings mentioned this some time ago, chemical interrogation, truth test, polygraph. It scientifically tells you there are things that happen to your body when you lie. And so this machine will get it, So he's suggesting that a polygraph to be conducted on new recruits as well as officers due for promotion and those in high command. This is in connection with security personnel doubling as robbers in our present Ghana and supplying ammunition to enemies of the state. Let me end by saying there are a lot of us out there just wanting a chance to serve our nation and contribute to its development with our ideas and hard work. Long live Ghana. And that was a really, that was a very powerful, he touched on all areas, It's not just even the recruitment, but once you are in, are we checking to make sure that you have not been compromised?
And we have this aspect that our people are not learning. They're not learning on the job.
Okay.
If you look at the manner in which some people, once they get into the uniform, and it's not just the police, certain disciplines that we knew when we were growing up, I don't think we've seen that discipline now. People want,
like,
even the basic salute.
Okay.
You'll be surprised that I spoke to a policeman. A doctor finished treating him, and when I was going, he waved up and said, "Oh, you just have the salute." He said, "No, he only has to salute his superiors." I said, "No, you don't know the ethics. The lawyer, the clergy, the judge, and the doctor, they are the elite of the society. In fact, saluting them, I think it was President Kufuor who made that advice one day. I think there was an occasion when the person was passing, and he passed his doctor, Dr. Amanda, and he said, "No, salute no." They don't understand it. So the whole thing is that even if today you get some of them to serve, they think they are doing you a favor. They don't know they are doing state service. And so all these things, learning on the job is very important. Constant training, in most society, when people get what they want, they think they are settled in life, and then they don't learn to produce anymore. Some of these things that are happening, seriously, is a result of the fact that we don't do constant training. I will be quick to commend IGP Dampari. that at least within these people, he was able to find out the bad notes to fish them out. And I want to congratulate him. But let's face it, this is not a new thing. This is not the first time police people have taken the gun and has gone into robbery. Remember in the early days when armed robbery started in the 70s and things that we know, when people were going to rob, they put on army uniform or police uniform. Those were the early days where they didn't understand the game. This time they understand the game in the way. So they put on suit to go and rob. Really. So let us start educating our people to the extent that we'll be able to fish out the bad nuts. And it's still not late to get a sergeant out of the way, to get a corporal out of the way, to get an inspector out of the way. Certainly, it doesn't matter how quick they've risen up to their ranks. If they don't fit for the environment, they should be kicked out of the system.
We want to see more people being fired.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
that is what
it should be a contradiction if you're a thief and you recruited into, or you're a robber and you are recruited enlisted into the police. It's a big contradiction, and it should not happen. So a certain stringent process needs to be put in place to fish out, because they are now seeking the opportunity to get in there, and they must be restrained. We must block the channel through which such bad elements get in there to support the reputation and ability of the police profession.
Okay, this is a big story. It started from yesterday. It's still trending, and I'm seeing a lot of your messages on the screen, and I really would want to go and read those messages right now for you. 055 556 1034 messages coming in on our WhatsApp portal. So I'm just going to permission to just leave you to read the messages.
Permission granted.
It's because of what you are saying that the people are talking, all right? So I'm going to check out the messages for you right now and come with me to the messages. So lots of messages coming in here. Good morning. My brother Kafu and your co-panelists. My brother, this recruitment issue is not easy. If you don't have money or you don't know anyone, then forget yourself. Because people like myself who come from poor homes can never afford 15,000 to pay. Meanwhile, we have qualified to join and work from other Ghana. God have mercy upon these leaders in this country. Thanks. Agbemozozo. Wow. Yes, Mozozo is like walking, a journey, and Agbe is life. So life's journey. Agbemozozo from Atito. This is my holy village. Atito, Madogbanami, Akbanami. Okay, so more 055-556-1034. We should look for first degrees for anyone looking for pastoring job. If not, Christian organizations will remain as corrupt as the police. This happened in Rwanda, where the state decided that there will be some minimum educational qualifications for people of the cloth, not just Christians, but Muslims as well. What are your thoughts on that?
Very, very, very important. I think that we sit here today not just because we are clergy, but also because we are educated. It gives us the balance. We become very Ghanaian. A Muslim sheikh, a Christian, I could be a bishop or even an archbishop, whatever title. I don't like those titles, but otherwise, by virtue of what I've done, I could be. And we sit down here today and we collaborate and we think about this nation because of our background. And so it's very important that when people are educated, they have a level of decorum in the way they approach things. And for me, that's very important. When we go into it fully as illiterates, it makes us commit certain blunders that can be avoided. So I believe in education, and that is why going to the Bible school is very good. Going to the clergy school is very good. It helps you to understand the reason why you do what you do. Otherwise, we all become fetish. We become fetish.
The minimum educational qualification.
A bit of departure. Okay. You know, one of my worries. We said we want to build out the morality of our children, so we introduce religious to moral education.
Yes.
And then you find the teacher who is teaching this subject himself is not moral. And yet he holds a degree in this. You see, matters of pastoring and being a sheikh is very spiritual. And it requires a certain divine wisdom for you to be able to succeed in doing so. So you can have a degree, but the degree is not an answer to the problem.
You must be spiritual as well.
You must be spiritual, because the path on which you are walking
is a higher path.
So
right. We got that.
Having said that, we should also create that dichotomy of the balance.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is my balance. The balance for me is very important because if we become all spiritual, but there is no balance. It creates a problem. And that is where you see people try to become ritual-minded, and they don't understand even the Bible or the Quran they read.
So the balance is key.
The balance is important for me.
More messages, 055-556-1034. Police attacking and robbery cases will continue to occur as long as we continue to recruit illiterate, unqualified party boys who are desperate and hungry for money as police officers. Ricardo from Ashaiman. Musa Abattoir is not in the abattoir. He's talking about the Supreme Court ruling. We'll deal with that later on. Governor says it serves us all right as Ghanaians. No wonder we now have breeds of professionals everywhere in our institutions. It's very pathetic. We give protocol to unqualified people and expect them to do well in their line of work. So you think we are reaping the bitter fruits. Good morning. I've been watching GTV for some time now and see that my morning has been peaceful. Wonderful. What an endorsement. Good morning. Bekwe from Wager. They say leadership is by example, so the behavior of the junior police officers tells us exactly who the senior police officers are. Because I know a senior police officer who was forced to retire because he was protecting criminals and empowering land guards. A couple more and then we'll go to our next topic. So these are the messages coming in. Good morning, Kaf, Rev and Sheikh. I like the brilliant way Rev and Sheikh have handled the police robberies. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, as we are told. I take two more and then we'll go for a very interesting conversation that we're going to have that I'm sure you'll be delighted to listen to. The fight against these bad nuts in the police and other professionals should start very early. In fact, that our bodies stealing and other misbehavior are accepted as normal. So our schools are not doing anything to stop them. Children who enter schools innocent learn to misbehave as revenge because of their experience. Indeed, even exam malpractices have become normal, encouraged by some school heads. I see some of these remedial schools who guarantee that you will get all ones. And I'm reading the billboard, I'm thinking, how can you guarantee that I'm going to get 100% all ones? There must be something wrong there. So keep the comments coming in. I'm enjoying them. 555-556-1034. Okay, the traditional army of chiefs are also good in combat frontline at war. Can we have a group of men too in the army who are schooled from Alaji Dawood and Medina Estate? More messages, keep them coming in. Now we're going to go to a story that I know will interest both of you, especially the Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete, because of your background, where you went to school. There's a story in today's Ghanaian Times, in today's daily graphic, which talks about Ghanaian medical students in Ukraine being transferred to Grenada. And there have been a movement of Ghanaians coming back from Ukraine. And if you've been following GTV for the past 2 weeks, you may have been following the adventures, of Joseph Yankson, who was in Sumy. Now, Sumy, if you know the map of Ukraine, is quite close to the Russian border. And he experienced a lot of bombing. In the beginnings, he was very, confident, upbeat, lucid. But the last time we spoke to him, when I asked Charlie, how be? He says, Charlie, not good. Not good. I mean, you could see the toll of the war and the conflict was affecting him. Have things changed? Well, we do have on the line right now Joseph Yankson, still in Europe, but exactly where is the question. Joseph, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Charlie, how be?
For the first time, I can say I feel a lot better now.
Awesome. Charlie, where are you there? Where are you now? Still in Ukraine?
No, we are currently in Budapest, Hungary.
Wow. I mean, the last time we spoke to you, you were in Ukraine. Tell us what happened between last Thursday and today.
Okay, so last Thursday, before we could set out, I think we were anticipating a humanitarian corridor from Sumy that will help evacuate foreigners and students, but it didn't happen that way. So we actually got a private means of transport to take us to a train station which was in a different city, and then from there we took another taxi to get to the Hungarian border.
My brother, were the people still not bombing your town?
It never stopped. It never even stopped for up to 24 hours. The bombs were still flying in and out. Even the last night before I left Sumy, it was the most scariest night.
This thing, how many other international students were with you as you made the move to Hungary?
In this private taxi, we were 3 Ghanaians and then 1 Tanzanian. But other Ghanaians also got... finally, there was a Red Cross vehicle that came into the last day of the Green Corridor. a Red Cross vehicle came and then conveyed other students out of the city. But in my taxi, we were just 3 Ghanaians.
And how much did you each pay to get into this taxi?
Okay, $300 each. Wow. Yeah, okay, almost $400 each to that city alone. And from that city, we were fortunate enough to get a free train to Kiev. Yeah, so from Kiev to another train, which took us to Lviv. And from Lviv, we had to book another taxi again, which we paid about almost $400 each to get us to the Hungarian border, yeah.
So those who don't have money, are they still left behind?
Those who don't have money, I honestly do not know their fate, because you need a lot of money to make this journey. We were told government will support in their own way, and we've actually seen small funds being disbursed, but it wasn't enough. You can imagine students receiving as little as 2,000 graven when they need as much as 7,000 graven to make just one journey. So the monies that were received were not enough. We had to rely solely on family and friends to support us to make this journey, because we needed a lot of money. If you don't have money, you get stuck. If you don't have money, you get stuck. That was the whole situation.
Have you left any Ghanaians behind in Sumi?
Sorry?
Have you left any Ghanaians behind?
Okay, Sami can address.
Most people joined, for my knowledge, a lot of people joined those buses, and those buses took them to Ottawa. Now, this is where it gets tricky. When it takes you to Ottawa, there's a train for everyone which is free. Now, it's not everyone who will be able to get on the train, because there are lots of people. From Sumi alone, I can say that more than 100,000 people left Sumi. So imagine a train who takes maybe close to 2,000 people. That means people were left behind in those vantage points, which they are still waiting for trains to take them. So if you can't wait that long, it's not safe outside. Where we were, for instance, it's not safe. We had bombings at that place too. So everyone was praying to leave. So people also have to charter their own taxis. And as he mentioned, now that the taxi people have made it known that it's their time, it's their cash cow. So something that's going to go forward, as he said, $20. We are paying $600 per each person. At least it used to be $600 for everyone, but now each person is paying $600 to take you to Lviv. Then from Lviv, you either wait for a train, which you take a truck, or you take a taxi to the border. So that is how the movement has been. So currently, as we speak, there's no official data showing that every Ghanaian has been evacuated. There's no official data on that.
Sami and Joseph, how did you feel when you got to the Hungarian border and you could see a different country?
It was all smiles, not because Hungary is beautiful than Ukraine, but just knowing that at least we can finally have some peace. We were just grateful to God that at least we have life, even though we couldn't pick most of our staff out of our hostels to live with them. But at least the few, I mean, for me, for instance, I just had my winter jacket and then just one shirt. That's plus my travel documents. That's the only thing I got out of the country. So I was just thankful for life. That was the feeling.
Sami, what did you take with you? What was your feeling, Sami?
My experience was I was actually sad, because at the bomb shelter we actually made family, not friends. We made, in fact, people came to support us. People were concerned about our well-being. So when we were able to get to safety, I actually teared up, because I'm now safe. What about them? And it's not that we did not meet. We met a lot of Russian troops moving towards the city where we are coming from. So that it's not ending now. So I was thinking about those people, and I actually teared up.
So that green corridor was moving while the Russian people were also moving in the opposite direction.
Yes. Yeah.
Were you afraid at some point that you'd hit by stray bullets?
People who took the journey before said they got harassed by the Russian troops, because by then the green corridor had not yet been opened. So it would have been difficult for them to allow you to move without permission from above. So others even got gunshots. Their cars got attacked. Yeah, but we were lucky that we didn't face such a thing.
We hear reports in the media that black people are being racially abused, or you're experiencing? Did you experience any racism on the way to the Hungarian border?
Not at all. Not at all. These Ukrainians have been helpful. They are also in dire need of getting out of the situation, just like we too. So they've been very helpful to us. The Hungarian people too, they treated us exceptionally well. Even though we spent close to just about an hour at the border entrance because there was a queue before we got there. They treated us okay, gave us free buses to Budapest, gave us free food, hot meals and all. And I must say a very big thank you to you, and then Doctor, you've been in constant touch with us, providing us with information as to who to contact. And then since yesterday, we got to this Pentecost. Pentecost is organizing a place for these, foreign students who have left Ukraine. They've given us a very good place to lodge for the past night.
Yeah, just to add to that, let me talk on the racial contribution. What has happened is that they are actually looking for women and children. So if you don't understand their language, or if you don't understand what is going on, you think that they are abusing you. So for myself and Joseph, we were made to wait for ladies and children to board first. But afterwards, we also found our way inside. So that is what has happened. But if you are not able to understand the language, you think that they are saying that blacks should get away. And that
do you understand the language, Sammy? Do you understand the language?
Yes, I can speak the language.
Nice. So where are you now, and what are your plans for the future, the near future?
For me, yesterday, after speaking to the councillor, they spelled out the opportunities we can explore here, and then either if you want to go back home too. So we've been told, and then we want to take some time to decide what to do next, because we would not just want to rush things and then immediately come home and then get stranded again, because fortunately we are in a safe zone now. We want to take some time to think about our next move.
So are you able to continue your medical, is that an option? Can you continue your medical education from Hungary?
Yeah, so that is what we are exploring. Most universities have given us the opportunity to come, let's reason together to see how best they can help us, not just for people in Hungary, for people in Poland, people in Germany. Like, there are so many offers to all Ukrainian students. In fact, everyone who wants to continue your education here, there have been provision for that. So that is why most of us, we need to stay behind and look at the options before we can leave.
Yeah, okay. For people like Sami and the rest, they've spent more than 5 years, so it will be quite difficult for them to desert the whole situation and then just go back home to do nothing. They have to. We've got messages from a lot of universities trying to tell us that we can seek transfer and then come into their universities.
Okay. Yeah. So you will have education in English. What language were you being taught in Ukraine?
English.
Okay. So you can transfer to a Hungarian university and continue your education in English.
Yes.
Okay. Sami, just your last name and what you are studying actually.
Samuel Free.
Okay.
I'm studying medicine.
Okay. And of course,
medical student.
You're a fifth year student, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Joseph, just for the records.
Okay, so I'm a recent graduate of GIG. Mm-hmm. I graduated in 2020. I came here just in January to do my master's in business management.
Okay.
And this has happened, so.
You're managing yourself in the business of war.
Yeah.
What's your message for your family? Should they be expecting you soon?
No, just to add to that, there's one thing he made mention, but I want to emphasize on that. In fact, the PIWC of Budapest have done so much for the Ghanaian society, for all nationals. In fact, as we are speaking currently, we are at their shelter. They gave us food, they gave us everything you need that they're given. So I would like to use this platform to go a very long way to thank them all for what they have done, not just for Ghanaians, for every national, everyone. So we are very grateful.
So PIWC is Pentecost International Worship Center?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
All right, and Joseph, what's the final word? What you have to say? It's been quite a bit of a journey. I don't know whether you are writing things down every day, because last time I saw you looked depressed, man, and today you are happy, man.
I tried to be a man from the beginning of the whole situation, but I realized at the point this is not about being a man. This is real people dying. So I'm just happy about where I am now, and then I'm grateful for life. And thanks to all Ghanaians who have been following the story. Finally, we can say we are in a safe place, and then we thank them all for their constant prayers with us.
Okay, I'm seeing a football T-shirt. Well, what team is that?
Oh, Real Madrid.
Hey, you are a happy guy. Were you following the game yesterday?
Yeah.
Nice one, gentlemen. Joseph Jackson and some of you, we thank you so much. You've been very courageous. We really appreciate the reports that you gave us, very clear and lucid, and everybody was behind you. I'm sure that people are so excited that you guys are safe. Take care of yourselves and have a beautiful, beautiful day. God bless. How do you say thank you in Ukrainian? I need thank you.
Diakuyo.
Diakuye. Diakuyo. Thank you so much, gentlemen, and have a beautiful day, man. God bless. Yes. Dr. Tete. That's a story with a happy ending.
I think that they've been very sensible in their reportage. Over the weeks, we've heard some people who wanted to hear their own voice, and they've over-exaggerated the situation. As you speak now, there's no one single Ghanaian in Sumy. You can quote me on that, because I've been part of the evacuation team.
Yes.
Yesterday until about late in the evening, when a meeting at Grand Embassy with the ambassador was just returned, and so a lot of us have been in touch. And the few things that I want parents to be mindful of, I think that some people have sent some wrong information out there that if you stay behind, you can be recruited into a school. I think that is not it. We have to manage that very carefully. There will be a few unfortunate incidents where students have booked to come, have done their COVID test, and at the airport they never turn up. So Ghana government has paid for their ticket. And remember, because there's no chartered flight going, they're using Qatar, Emirates, commercial, all the time, everybody. And so when the money is paid in Moscow, it's an Apex ticket that has been paid. And you don't show up.
What's an Apex ticket?
It means a fixed ticket.
Okay.
It means that you have wasted the money, and we don't need to be doing that. I will advise that if you can, come to Ghana, arrange properly, especially those of you who want to go to Hungary. Hungary is a police state, and so if you hide, you'll be seen. And there's no wisdom in you destroying your record. What most of the students don't know is that the Schengen country shares record. They shared information. So if you are refused in Czech Republic or Hungary, you'll be refused in Germany forever, you've refused in Holland forever, you'll be refused in any, because they share information. So it's better for you to come and arrange properly. And the truth is that if you're a 4th year student or a 5th year student, going back is very easy. Because if your things are all right, you can go to the embassy, apply for a proper visa, and you'll be gone. And some of us are here to help you. I serve on the school council, both the scholarship and the paying student council, so we can help you better go through how you can properly go to Hungary without being an illegal immigrant. Because most people, the way they're pushing it now, by the time you realize you have messed up yourself, and then that would rather be a problem. But having said that, I want to commend all the neighboring countries like Belarus, like Slovenia, like Slovak, like Czech Republic, Poland, Romania, and Hungary for all the help they've offered. You know, this war is not something we're looking at ending today or tomorrow. We just have to pray for divine intervention, because as we speak now, Russia has over 2 million soldiers that are ready to go to war. Ukraine has just under 300,000 soldiers. And of course, we all know that this war is a war of greed and supremacy, and failed, dialogue failed in diplomacy. So we have to be very mindful to know that it is going to affect us anyway, whether we like it or not. Our economy should be affected, and we need to just be mindful to make sure our students are properly informed. Parents should not just panic. This morning I got a long text from one parent, a mother who has 2 children in Budapest and wants them to stay and look for a job. It doesn't work like that in Hungary. The reason why you are in Hungary or you're in Poland or you're in Rome now, is that you get a safe place that you can get evacuated. Let us do the first thing first before we think of second thing. Otherwise, in the midst of it, we'll be missing the real essence of coming to some of this neighboring country. And then I also say that whilst you are there as student, if it is just 3 days, learn certain basic words. It helps. The reason why most of our students also got messed up in most of the places was lack of language.
In your time, you didn't study any in English, right? You studied in Hungarian.
Yes. You see, we go to a language school, but in this day and age, and I'm happy I'm talking as a parent, actually are lazy. Because they have free education in the English language, they don't even make the effort
to learn what is around
to learn what is the languages. And so learn the language, and it helps you when you speak language, even if you don't speak it fluently. It makes people love you. People connect with you. This whole issue we are talking about, I'm happy with the wisdom in which Samuel and Joseph spoke, that the language becomes a barrier. So if you don't think, I think people are discriminating, but they don't speak the language themselves.
Women and children.
Yeah, so if you speak the language, they connect with you. And some of us, that is how we got connected. Those little pidgin language you speak and we utter them. By the time we realized, we even ended up speaking some of the neighboring languages, greetings and salutations, and people accept you. So I would recommend that if you're a parent or you're a student, if you're a parent, encourage your children to learn how to pick their languages and to help them to feel relevant in the community.
I know.
And you ask something, what is thank you. It's Kusunam Sepen.
Kusunam
Sepen, yes.
Sounds like ever.
Yes. You'll be surprised to know that Hungarian language is full of Ewe language, Krobo language, and Gan language. Strange.
They came from us.
Strange. Some words that, and you know, some very heavy, bad words in Ewe language.
They sound like,
and that word like playing games or is T-O-T-O.
Oh, I see.
And for you, phrases like Kolu, those
they're all there.
You know, and guess what they call their river?
What is it?
D-U-N-A. Duna. And for a guy, you know what Duna is?
Yes. What we are sitting on.
Duna is a backside. And it's a river Duna.
Yeah, you see now. Interesting. Sheikh, big comments before I go and read the messages. I mean, what you saw from the interaction I had with.
Oh yeah, I think we need to commend the young men for their courage and fortitude, because you see, some of these things when they happen, with respect to the one who's experiencing it, it is not your choice. Circumstance arose and you find yourself. So that fortitude for me is something that we must encourage them. Okay. Yeah.
All right. And the princess is back.
Yeah.
With messages for us.
Yes, I am. Good morning, Reverend Sheikh. Good morning, family. Kudos to Dr. Lawrence Tete and the Sheikh. I concur with all that they said, with resounding, nothing is new under the sun. The help of social media has given rise to all the enigma which has hidden from a lot of people born after the 80s. So I feel so chastised just reading this from Trisha. You spoke about recruitment into the services. Yes. So comments also on that. A lot of people change either positively or negatively after even securing their heart-desired job, just as the people in the police service. And the policemen involving in robberies didn't start today. So giving us some statistics there, Leviticus. Yeah, thank you. Now our judiciary is now head of the legislature. They decide proceedings in our parliament. That is so pathetic. Ben is saying this from Medina. Remember, comments made by persons on these platforms are their own comments and not reflect the views of GBC. Hi Cap, good morning. I'm enjoying your show. The problems we have in the police is due to lack of proper supervision on the part of the senior officers. Junior officers are allowed to do things on their own without any proper checks on them. That's according to Fred. How can someone seeking to diligently and passionately serve its country be asked to pay the sum of 8,000 Ghana cedis as at last year for military forms? Someone who isn't working. It only causes the victims to get loans to pay and start robbing to pay back when they finally get into the service. They go on to say, good to see a bright smile on Joseph's face. I'm personally happy to know they made it through to another country which would enable possible evacuation. We thank God for their lives despite the expenses involved. I wonder if, Dr. Tete, would you know if these expenses would be refunded to them if they have a way of proving that they made those expenses?
I think there's some amount that was made available, but some people in their haste went beyond their means. If some of them had taken their time a little, there were buses and coaches. The Red Cross even evacuated a lot of people. But some people in their panic made expenses that were more than what was stipulated.
Okay, more comments coming in. Kav, good morning. Greetings to the breakfast show. Ghana institutions across the country need basic restructuring for proper employment. The whom you know attitude has to stop. Dave is saying this. Nana Opoku from Assume says it's no coincidence that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the NPP that the first deputy speaker can vote. I think you'll be touching on that matter pretty shortly. And still preside over rulings in Parliament. And the Attorney General is in to say the election of Honorable Kofi Adams should be nullified. This is clearly a way of making everything possible to pass the e-levy. They should remember that the precedents they are setting will be followed and executed in future, and that's a threat to our peace and democracy. God help us. That's according to Nana Opoku. Belinda was asking, when will this war end in Ukraine? She's concerned about the happenings there. Achi Kwesi from Ankasedema, what's happening in the Ghana Police Service is happening in other services in Ghana, and it's such people in the future, because teachers have been training such people right from basic by writing a pour for them in their final exams, and these people's minds are polluted to become police officers, soldiers, teachers, politicians, and others. So that's according to you. We have no way of verifying these claims that you're making, so we don't stand for things we can't substantiate. Thanks for the updates. The traditional army of chiefs are also in good combat. I think you read this earlier. Reverend Father on the show, can you tell us why we have a larger number of Ghanaian students as medical students in Ukraine? From Alhaji Dauda.
Trained there. Yes, and what it is that in the past, Hungary was giving scholarship to medical students and economic students like I do. Now it is not there anymore. It costs them a lot. So it's very easy to get into Ukraine to go and read medicine there. And remember, majority, about 90% of students in Ukraine are not Ghanaian scholarship holders. The percentage of scholarship holders is under 5%. In fact, in all the people we've evacuated, only 29 students are on scholarship in Hungary. So everybody's a paying student. So it's very easy to get into that place and read medicine there. Okay. And they have a lot of schools that are looking for money to, so they quickly get you into the place. So the scrutiny, I must say, that you go through in Hungary and Czech Republic, you don't go through that scrutiny in Ukraine. Okay. And that is where I also advise that our students from Ukraine should not be in a rush to force into themselves into Hungarian schools, because the procedures we go through to get into school in the past, you need a very good grade in mathematics and in English before you are accepted to Hungary. Whereas in some parts of the Eastern Europe, like Ukraine, once you've passed, you come. So it's quite.
There's a comment there on languages. I think it's big.
Languages is key. The Reverend is right. Learning other languages are a big advantage. I learned Zulu and Siswati, and I lived my life in Eswatini, like I was born and bred there till I returned home. So language, learn to speak your own language. And then speak it wherever you go. Speak other people's own as well. On this note, I'll say Cap Akpelo. That's about.
You know what Egalia? A guy's money. It's metal.
Okay. So somebody is coming to give me money.
No, is there money?
You know what I love about it?
Because Gali, there is no Gary.
Exactly. Stone this, stone top. Money.
Somebody said, if an Ewe man speaks anything you don't understand, you say,
that could be quite dangerous. Fama, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Give me one more.
If you want one more. Good morning, GTV breakfast and great panel. In fact, the IGP should find out when was the police officer brought into the service and fish them out. I think the IGP is doing a great job. Long live Ghana, long live the people of Ghana. God bless you. So I'll see you.
Long live Tama as well. Our last story, and Tama will come back to speak with Justice Abdullahi. Justice Abdullahi issues are on the front page of a lot of today's papers. Deputy Speaker has right to vote. Supreme Court declares. There's a picture of Justice Abdullahi on the front page of today's Daily Graphic. Deputy Speaker can vote. Supreme Court rules. So that's a big headline. And we have the man at the center of that particular case who will be in the studio with us. He's already here. So, and we've got Wiyala too, the lioness roaring in our lounge and waiting for us. But I just want to just quickly dash through to the UTAG story. So finally, UTAG has suspended their strike. If you're a student, how does that make you feel? So UTAG has indefinitely suspended their industrial strike for over demand for better conditions after carefully assessing results. So they've cancelled the action. That should be good news, shouldn't it, Sheikh?
Yeah, I mean it's good news because it raises the temperature of the contract any time. I mean, UTAG goes on strike because it does not affect the lecturers themselves alone, but students and parents alike. And then government is also put on edge, usually. So the strike actually came to add to the rather, industrial tension that we had in the country. But the good thing is that government has been able to sit down with them. And for me, that is the beauty of dialogue. Okay. Taking entrenched positions will not help us in solving problems. So we must commend to UTAG, the executives, and commend government for at least succeeding in coming to the round table and around the dialogue where now we can look forward with hope. Government, what assurances have been given, and government should also work on that plan to be able to fulfill those assurances so that we see a recurrence of this. Even in my life as a student, I have witnessed UTAG, and you tell me we suffered it.
We suffered it on campus. It's true, Sheikh. And just to wrap up, what plans does your boss have for this week?
My boss is in devotional solitude.
Okay.
And so we are allowing him. Okay. And hopefully, Ramadan is approaching.
Yes.
Yeah. So we are, as I speak to you, we are in some kind of voluntary, exercise that we are doing in preparation for the Ramadan.
And we are grateful for the time you've used
early April.
Yes.
Yeah. We shall begin.
Okay. We thank you for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Reverend Dr. Tete, UTAG strike suspended indefinitely.
I think we've all been looking forward to that, and I'm happy that we are coming back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
See how dialogue will solve this problem, and nobody should take an entrenched position. Once UTAG and government and stakeholders are not taking entrenched position, we can come to a point of convergence. And for me, I've always said that we need to look at things holistically, so we don't take advantage of any person.
Thank you so much. You're a very busy man with this whole Ukraine, Russia thing. What are you looking? What are you working on?
We need to commend him.
No, he's done a great job.
Yeah, we need to commend him.
Because when the gentleman got to Budapest, I spoke to Dr. Tete, and he gave me the number of the consul, and I passed the number on to the gentleman, and they were just like over the moon. Yes. So they started talking to the consul already. So we want to say thank you very much.
Well, I got a very nice text from two ladies yesterday, young ladies, 2-year-old. I think they are friends, and they said, if not for anything at all, I've shown that I'm also a father. And I think some of them, they call it all time. Parents are crying and people don't know what to do. But I'm happy we've been part of it. Now, remember, I schooled in that belt myself, and so I'll be very evil if I'm not passionate about it.
For how many years were you there?
I was there for 7 years.
That's a long time.
Yes.
Yeah. 7 is a good number too.
Yes. So
when you go there to pick up your award?
Well, yesterday the ambassador was deciding that they will give me the date on the 15th of this month, this coming month. And so definitely I can assure you, you will be part of it. Even yesterday, Zumayon asked how it's going to be now. He wanted Dr. Sergio was in the meeting yesterday. Yes, he's also been very
When you receive it and you come back, we shall all celebrate it.
One time. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete is the founder and president of the Worldwide Miracle Church and Outreach, I beg your pardon. And then Dr. Sheikh Shaibu Arimiao Shaibu is the spokesperson for the National Chief Imam. Thanks for your time. A quick message before we go and have the next conversation, which will be Justice Abdullahi versus Attorney General. That's what you see on your screen. And Justice Abdullahi is here. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm
some firebrand.
No, he's a fire guy. He's a fire guy. Yes, but we can open the fire if we want. Yeah, but he'll be sitting down with Tama. He's a very good friend. Quick comments. Are you experiencing a desert in your taps? I mean, how long has the water not flowed in your taps since when we want to put some heat on kind of water campaigning? And people are coming in. They say if you go to Holy Child Training College for the past 3 or 4 days, no water. The ladies have to go to town in search of water from people's homes. Too bad, says Abanga Teves Philemon on Facebook. Wadi Francis Agbeshi says since last October, Joje in Volta region, specifically ICGC premises and surroundings, direction Old Cave Road after Joje Market. What the precise GPS location? All attempts reporting to authorities couldn't yield any positive result. Thank you very much, Francis. Kweku Spike, he says, Kaswa Kakraba, Ghana in names. Kaswa Kakraba, last August, they will come and hide water bill at the corner of the window and then they will run away. This is a question I'm asking everybody this week. If you were president for a day, what law would you pass that would not be taken away? I mean, after you've spent your 1 day, that law will still remain. What would that law be?
That we should not leave the God factor in all that we do.
Okay, so you would have a law for God factor?
Yes.
Okay, God factor. Interesting. Right.
I mean, if we seek the way of God, righteousness exalts the nation. If we can make it a possibility that Ghanaians will seek God's face, I think most of the things we struggle for will not struggle for it.
Sheikh, you as president for 1 day, what law would you pass?
The law. Look, I will find a way to criminalize corruption of any kind.
One time. One time.
Yeah, of any kind.
You make it happen. Okay. All right. Okay, gentlemen, thank you so